How much would I need to have in assets by the time I'm 60?
40 crores.
This clip went viral. The guest at the show said you need 40 crores to retire comfortably. Twitter exploded. Numbers flew in from every direction, starting from 1 crore, 5 crore, 25 crore, and even 60 crores. Everyone had an opinion and almost no one agreed. All retirement calculations generally result in a huge number, and there is disbelief and denial. The bigger problem with disbelief is that most people do not relate to the retirement number at all. How do you overcome this? How do you relate better to the retirement number? Well, to make this happen, let's do a simple thought experiment. Instead of looking forward, like in most retirement planning, let's actually look backward. Maybe start at 2006 and try and figure out what should be the retirement corpus if you were to retire in 2026. In 2006, assume you're 35 years old, working in a good software job in Bangalore. Life is comfortable. Your rent on a 2 BHK in Indiranagar is 15,000. You drive a Maruti Swift, which you bought for 4 lakh. A nice dinner for 2 at a mid-range restaurant maybe costed you 500 or 800. Your monthly expenses, everything included, rent, food, fuel, weekend plans, and the works, could probably come to about 50,000 a month. By 2006 standards, this is genuinely a good life. You want to retire at 55, that gives you exactly 20 years to plan. You're not looking at upgrading your lifestyle, you just want to maintain it. Same kind of home, same kind of car, and the same kind of weekends. The question is, how much do you need when you retire in 2026? To work this out, we need to have 2 assumptions. One is on the inflation, and the other one is the post-tax return your corpus will earn after you retire. And since we are doing this in hindsight, we don't actually have to guess. We can work with actual data. India's retail inflation over the last 20 years have averaged around 6.2%. You can round this off to 6.5%. For post-tax returns on a retiree-appropriate portfolio, which is basically debt-heavy, some equity, some FD, some gold, 8% is a fairly decent assumption. Plug these assumptions and numbers into any retirement calculator that's online, and here is what will come out. That 50,000 a month lifestyle in 2006, in 2026 will cost you 1.76 lakhs a month to replicate. This is about 21 lakhs per year. Now check this against your own life. Look around. A 2 BHK in Indiranagar today now rents about 55 to 65,000. A Maruti Swift costs about 9 to 10 lakhs. And that mid-range dinner today costs you anywhere between 1,500 to 2,000. This inflation has already happened. To fund this lifestyle for 30 years post-retirement, let's say till age 85, the corpus required is approximately 6 crores. Let's sit with that number for a second. 6 crores to retire in 2026, having lived a comfortable but not an extravagant life since 2006. Is that a lot? Yes. Is it absurd? I would argue no. A disciplined saver from 2006 with a reasonable SIP habit, saving up to 50% of income, with some equity exposure and 20 years of compounding, could have realistically built this. It's a believable number because everything about this scenario that produced it is verifiable. Now, here is where it starts to get a little uncomfortable. The 2006 retirees number is 6 crores, is believable because everything is based on facts. The inflation has already happened. The price of rice, rent, and even petrol has done what it was always going to do. We can verify every assumption. But the math itself isn't tied to 2006. It's just simple math. So let's run the exact same model with the exact same assumptions and change only one thing, the year you're standing in. Let's work with it. So you're 35 today in 2026. you want to retire at 55, that is in the year 2046. Your monthly expense, let's say, is 2 lakh, a comfortable urban mid to upper middle class life, a nicer apartment, a car upgrade or 2, a kid in decent school, an occasional vacation. Nothing flashy. What is the retirement corpus needed in the year 2046? Let's assume the same inflation of 6.5%, same post-tax return of 8%, same 30-year post-retirement horizon. So what does the retirement math say? Well, your 2 lakh per month lifestyle in 2026 will cost you roughly 7 lakh a month to maintain in 2046. The corpus you need is approximately between 20 to 23 crores. When people hear this number, they freak out in disbelief. But you see, nothing has changed. It's the same model, same assumptions, same logic that produced the perfectly believable 6 crore number for the 2006 retiree. Only the starting year has moved. This is where denial usually kicks in. 23 crore feels insane, but the math is the math. If you accept the 6 crore answer for the 2006 retiree, and you should, because the prices around you confirm it, you've already accepted the framework. You can't reject the 23 crore answer without rejecting the 6 crore one too. This isn't to say that the number is fixed in stone. The output is sensitive to the inputs we give, and there are few knobs that you can actually control. For instance, the post-tax returns. We used 8% post-retirement, but if you're willing to hold more equity in your 60s and 70s, which by the way should be okay given longevity, 9 to 10% is achievable, and the corpus drops to 17 crores from 23 crores. On the other hand, if you're ultra conservative and only depend on FTs, your post-tax returns drops to about 5.5% and your corpus requirement shoots up to 28 crores. Your lifestyle is the second knob. 2 lakh a month is a choice. If you can be happy with 1.5 lakhs, the corpus immediately drops by 25%. The biggest lever in retirement planning isn't return or inflation, it's actually your lifestyle. The third knob is the retirement age itself. Retiring at 60 instead of 55 doesn't just give you 5 more earning years, but it also gives you 5 fewer years to fund and 5 more years of compounding on the corpus you've already built. It is one of the most underrated retirement lever. And finally, we should talk about inflation, although it's not a knob that you can control. We use 6.5%. If India's inflation runs at 5.5% for the next 20 years, the corpus shrinks meaningfully, maybe to 16 or 17%. But at the same time, a 7.5% inflation, your corpus balloons to 26 crores. A 1% change swings the corpus roughly by 25%. We can just hope that the inflation remains in our favor. These knobs kind of help you tune your retirement model. But irrespective of what you do, your retirement corpus needed in 20 or 25 years will always seem large and exaggerated. But unfortunately, you cannot run away from it. This thought experiment on retirement was one way I found to break the denial that surrounds retirement planning. We can argue about the future, but we cannot argue about the past. When you accept that 6 crore was always going to be the answer for a 2006 retiree, knowingly or unknowingly, you've actually accepted the 23 crore answer for a 2046 retiree. The math doesn't care which side of the timeline you're on. The corpus itself is not the scary part of retirement planning. The scary part is the fact that every year you wait to start, the number grows and the time you have to reach shrinks. So pick your knobs, pick your number and start your SIP. The math will do what it's always done. The only variable left is you.